Hand me some more of that vodka, please.
Okay, yeah. Now, Evasive will now respond, but Terminus Rob, if you'd like to say anything on the subject.
Furthermore, I believe that Persia must be destroyed.
Interesting standpoint. Evasive. We await your response. Now, on to the next question while we're awaiting him. Oh no, never mind, it was someone else. Okay, now on to the next question. This one goes to Stone Soul Jr. You are a fairly recent member of hayek, and you were inactive for a while. How do the voters know that you can be an active member of hayek?
I feel that the people are entitled to know both why I'm new and why I was inactive. I'm new because I saw potential in Hayek. It is a great nation and it is built on strong foundations, and I want nothing more than to be involved in such a glorious and beautiful project. However, it is worth noting that members of the government of Hayek were involved in unethical pearlings when I first found the city. And that is something that I've become opposed to. To address my inactivity, I was inactive, quite frankly, because I was IRL in the hospital with a cardiac condition. So, not really a fun in-universe explanation for that.
Oh, I'm totally sorry about that.
Dude, it's
As for the pearlings, could you elaborate a bit?
when I first arrived.
Please.
When I first arrived to the town of Hayek and saw its gates, I came in through the spruce farm. It was either cryptically or evasive. I cannot remember exactly which one, though I am relatively sure it was evasive, that invited me to his house and told me that he needed a favor and that I would be well compensated for it. He had me put my starter kit items in a chest and then proceeded to kill and pearl me and attempt to make me farm pearls against my will. Then said that he had not enslaved me because I could have asked to leave at any moment. I wanted to be involved in Hayek, however, that hostility turned me off to it a bit. However, now I'm back to instate policies that would not allow unethical treatment like that against me.
For the record, I'd like to point out that there was a 99% chance that was cryptically.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, that seems like something he'd do. Okay, Terminus, the same question goes to you. You're fairly new in hayek, in fact, brand new in hayek. How do we know that you will be an active member?
Okay, so I am currently unemployed. I live with my father, and he tell me get a job. So I try to get job with my degree, and I don't get a job. So I have a lot of time on my hands. You know what I mean? So I'm going to come here. I'm going to do a lot of very good things.
Okay, Evasive has responded to the question. He said, and I quote, "The second I saw the border issue, I negotiated with Mount Augusta as soon as possible, and that is now fixed. I'm continuing to negotiate several borders with nations such as Three Kings and Good Springs. I've built a fort with my own supplies to support our borders. I'm in the process of gaining us more land peacefully." Now, Evasive, if you would like to begin typing your response to the previous question, that would be good. He's also said, "Peace is my mission whenever possible, but if we must fight, we will fight." Now, Evasive, if you'd like to start typing a response to the previous question about how we can trust their activity, that would be great. If you would like to. I mean, you don't have to, obviously.
And let's just hold off until that response is typed.
Okay.
Wait, am I allowed to say something?
Are you allowed to what?
Say something?
Sure. What?
I'd just like to say that a lot of the things you guys are talking about, starting with, sorry for the background noise, starting with unjust pearling, has absolutely nothing to do with the Prime Minister or his job. You guys are talking about unrelated situations.
Okay, we seem to have gotten a response from Evasive. He says, and I quote, "I'm terribly sorry for your and I'm sure that everyone would stand. IRL matters obviously take precedent over Mind Man. I hope you get better." I believe what he was trying to say is Minecraft. but
Mine
rather.
man, it's an old joke, one I'm particularly a fan of.
Oh.
Thank you, Evasive. I appreciate the sentiment.
Now, Evasive, this question first goes to you, and then Terminus, and then Stone. As you know, the Prime Minister is responsible for picking the head of the Grand Imperial Army. The current head is cryptically. Would you change the current head? Actually, I guess Terminus should probably answer it first, while Evasive is typing.
The answer is yes, absolutely. He will get his ass kicked to the curb.
Terminus, do you have anybody in mind for who you might appoint?
I will probably appoint anyone who can beat me in a battle.
Fair enough. Now the same question goes to Stone Soul Jr. Would you change the head of the Grand Imperial Army, and if you would, who would you change it to?
I'm afraid I would not change the head of the Imperial Army. However, I would reduce their involvement in overseas operations. We have no point in having a standing army in other nations. However, to switch the head would simply be counterproductive reform.
Wrong.
All right. It appears that Evasive Object can no longer join us, so the debate will just be purely between Terminus and Stone Soul Jr. This should get interesting. Stone Soul Jr., when you say that we shouldn't have an army overseas, you realize that the army has only been used in one offensive act, correct?
I do realize that, and I feel like the involvement of the army in even one offensive act is an overstepping of our bounds. We should secure our borders. We should secure our people rather than attempting to secure others.
You are aware that this offensive act was somebody claimed our land and we merely retaliated.
I can honestly say I was not. I do support that action, however, I apologize.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I guess that would be an offensive act. Okay, so this question goes to Terminus Rob first, and then Stonefield Jr. How would you best provide for the people of Hayek?
Okay, so what we have to do is we have a lot of sheep right now. Very good sheep, well-producing sheep. We get the sheep, we make them have the many children, or many baby sheep, and then we take their fur, their wool, and we sell it to Mount Augusta.
What do you mean sell it to Mount Augusta?
They need the wool. If they don't need the wool, we make them take the wool in exchange for the standardized currency I will institute within hayek.
You are aware we already have a standardized currency, correct?
Right, no, it'll be the second standardized currency. I have the whole system. There is an internal currency and external currency for the foreigners when they come in to buy during the state stores.
Your accent has gone all over the place.
Wait,
Alrighty
they're the people who sell wool. Why would they buy it?
Yeah, he makes a good point.
Okay.
Does this need to go on? It's obvious that Evasive has dropped out and this guy's just a troll.
If I was a troll, then I wouldn't have kicked your ass during PvP. But you just give up every time you lose, which is why you bad for military ed. It's very bad.
Okay.
Alright,
so I'm
same question
gonna
goes to
leave.
Stone Soul Jr.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to address my opponent, Rob, and point out that he appears to be a European Trump attempting to run for office in Hayek. Not to say it's necessarily the most negative thing you can be, however, I'd be wary of his tactics. Now, how would I best provide for the people of Hayek? I have to say that we have the resources inside of our nation to provide for the people of our nation. International ties should be strong. We should have brothers in all nations, but what are we if not self-reliant? Since when has the city of Hayek been one that relies on other countries for its food, for its minerals? We shouldn't be, we haven't been, and we never will be. Thank you.
Alrighty then.
May I respond?
Sure.
Okay, so you understand that a place like North Korea, they try to be self-sufficient. They may do okay, sometimes not do okay. Many people die, bad thing. But that's what happened. Many people die when you do not trade. We need to globalize. All over, lots of trade. We get lots of good stuff coming into our borders. Send our good stuff out to other places. They give us.
I'm sorry, what?
uh, what my opponent's plan, what he wants to do, okay, is he wants to restrict trade and make it so we live only in poverty when we can be much more exuberantly wealthy.
I'm
Alrighty
sorry.
then.
I'm sorry.
You can respond if you'd like.
That's false. You see, first of all, international trade, particularly through standardized currency, is not opposed by me or the Free Republican Workers' Party. However, we should be able to sustain ourselves in the event that we cannot trade for the goods we need. Also, the last I checked, international trade on a grand scale stratifies society. It does not create a rich nation, it creates a nation with rich people in it. I don't want stratification of our people. I want a united front for all of us.
Oh yeah, we don't. Oh, he don't want rich people. Yeah, he doesn't want it to be rich. He wants all of you to live in dirt shacks. Dirt shacks.
Alright, Terminus, could you please calm down? Stone Soul Jr. As you might know, the Persia-Hayek Union has proved controversial in Hayek to some. Are you in favor of the union, or do you wish to abolish it?
I would like to say that the controversy of the Persia Union is due to a weakening national spirit in our country. We are in fear of our national identity as Hayekians being stripped. And that is why we rebel at the thought of a union. We should not rebel at the people of Persia, who wish us well. We should go forth, and we should allow Persian citizens to participate in Hayek elections, just as Hayek citizens should be allowed to participate in Persian elections. We are all one union, though we retain our identity. And I would also like to remind the voters of Hayek that my party is the only party which carries the official endorsement of Xerxes of the Persians.
Mr. Stone Soul Jr., you are aware that Hayek is a province of Persia, correct? So these are more like the elections in some states for governor, senator, and such, not as much as like presidential elections, correct?
I am aware, and I am aware that as one union, we should have solidarity. Persia is close enough to us and close enough involved in policy that for now it is good that their people be able to vote.
So would you say that citizens of, say, Connecticut are able to vote in elections in New Hampshire?
No, there's a difference in material conditions.
All right. How about you, Terminus?
We must declare independence from the Persian Empire. They are imperialist. They take everything, they give nothing. Furthermore, it is of my belief that Persia must be destroyed.
All right. Quantum, you
I'd like
seem to have...
respond.
One moment, please. Quantum, you seem to have jumped onto the stage. Are you running, or are you just standing there?
Just standing there.
Okay. Go on, Stone Soul Jr.
Very well.
You were going to respond?
Sorry, my push to talk wasn't working. Joe, you and I have a similar stance on one thing, it seems. I, too, deeply and totally oppose imperialism. The Persian Union, however, is not an empire. The reforms brought about by the union of Persia and Hayek and the involvement of Hayekians in the Persian political process would create a mutual aid network and not an empire. However, I would like to say that if it came to the point of empire, I would support the full withdrawal of Hayek, but only if it came to the point of detractory parasitic empire.
All right. The next question goes first to Terminus Rob. Defense is important to the security of Hayek. What specific policies would you push to make Hayek safer?
We have been lucky so far that no raider has done a great damage, but a day will come when we must defend the city. A militia will be organized and trained, and secure bunkers will be built all across Hayek to store individual wealth and to house the criminal minds.
Terminus, I'd like to point out that we have multiple times been rated very heavily.
Not to the extent where you all die, like happened to Chosun.
Terminus, we were all pearled, and we had to get Persia to come save us.
Yes, but Persia all along planned it to make them seem not so cocked.
I'm sorry.
Alrighty then. Stone Soul Jr., the same question goes to you.
I got lost in the buffoonery. Please repeat the question.
Defense is important to the security of Hayek. What specific policies would you push to make Hayek safer?
Simple. We need an extensive snitch network, like our current proximity alarm, so that we can record when strangers go in and out of Hayek. We need stricter policies on what it takes to become a citizen of Hayek. We need close alliances with countries of similar defense strategies. But most of all, we need to be able to defend ourselves from the inside. There are those on the inside of Hayek who would work for the downfall of our great nation. And we should have the power as citizens, not the government, to take out those that are dangerous. Not willy-nilly, but to take them out nevertheless.
Stone Soul Jr., you are aware that one of your opponents is, in fact, joined today as a refugee. What would you say to him about what requirements he should have faced to become a citizen?
Very well. My opponent, who, as you say, was a refugee, would have come into Hayek, would have been taken to Hayek Minor, the suburb on the outlying part of Hayek, as he was evaluated in order to see if he could become a citizen, evaluated to see that he aligned with the ideals of Hayek, that he would follow the laws of Hayek. He would then be placed on a probation period of a short time, perhaps 3 days to a week, and would then become a full citizen of Hayek. I would not exclude anyone except those who would cause the downfall of Hayek.
All right. This question goes to both of you.
Wait, may I respond to that, please?
Sure.
Alright, so as again, he is pointing out North Korea's policies of isolationism and simply a bust. I will push for incentives for newcomers to bring new workers, citizens, and friends into Hayek, including a vetting process. Any reason for keeping the city small and keeping people out are unfounded and based simply on xenophobia, distrust, self-centered reasoning. A bigger populace, more interesting, more alive, and an overall better experience for all.
All right, Stone, would you like to respond to that?
Respond to that. You keep using the North Korean straw man as though it's a valid argument. I'm not North Korean in my isolationism, and it's not isolationism.
Wrong.
I am simply advocating for policies that would not allow dangerous individuals into the country. I think a growing populace is the greatest thing for Hayek. However, we cannot allow potentially dangerous foreign militant elements into the country just in the name of potential economic prosperity, which would not come, as first they must receive before they give.
All right. Would either of you be in favor of making it so that way you can't get into the actual inside the borders without permission? First to you, Stone.
One moment, please.
Okay, then Terminus, you can go first while Stone is doing whatever he's doing.
We should not be like our nations around us that are a bunch of uh, shitheads. Yes, the shitheads. We don't want to be shitheads, so no, we should let people walk through if they want. But if they don't respond when we ask them what we do, we put a sword in their rectum.
Alrighty then. Stone Soul Jr., are you ready to answer the question?
I am. Increased border security is highly important. However, no traveler should be excluded from coming through Hayek proper, as that's where our shops are. That's where our farms are. We should be able to welcome newcomers as travelers, as visitors, as tourists. But requirements for citizenship are not that fanciful, I think. And I would also like to point out that my opponent's argument that allow in all citizens and force them under threat of death to conform to our laws is not the construction of a good and just republic.
If you saw a man in your house and he was just in your house, you did not know the man, would you not say, "Man, what are you doing in my house?" Or I will take my gun and I will put it up your rectum. That is what you do. When there are people, you ask them what you do. They say, "Hey, I am here to buy some of your wool that Rodriguez has given me." You say that, and he'll be like, "Okay, you stay here." If they say, "You don't," I'm not telling you why I'm here. That's when you kill them. Yeah, very simple.
Without trial.
Yes.
Wow. And somehow I'm the North Korean.
All right. So as you all know, Hayek has a monarch, myself. Would you be in favor of abolishing the monarchy? First, Terminus Rob.
Nope.
All right. How about you, Stone Soul Jr.?
I feel that the monarchy, as a non-elected position, is a not less legitimate, but less democratic form of rule. However, I would not abolish the monarchy. I feel that the monarchy is important as a symbol of Hayekian culture. However, their policies and powers would need to be checked by the democratic government of Hayek so that the monarch does not lose sight of the people. Nothing against yourself, Sky, simply referring to the position.
So you are aware that all policies proposed by the monarch must be voted on, correct?
Yes, I am.
Alrighty then. So I'm not sure if either of you have ever been to the city of Rafa, but it's a city just across the ocean, which is far larger and nicer than the actual city of Hayek. Would you support moving the capital to Rafa? First, you, Terminus.
Rafa should join us, and we should live together in prosperity.
You are aware that Rafa is part of Hayek, correct?
Yeah, but it's called Rafa. It need to be called Hayek.
All right then. Stone Soul Jr., how about you?
I don't support the moving of the capital to Rafa, and that is for one reason. The nation of Hayek has been built from the ground up on the lands considered sacred by the people of Hayek. Our culture resides in these lands. This is our capital, no matter how adorned any other city may be. These are our lands and these are our people, and we should stick to that.
Okay. So as either of you might know, we've recently instituted a new voting system in an attempt to cut down on the amount of fraud that we have in the past suffered. Are you in favor of this? First to you, Stone Soul Jr., sorry.
Yes, of course. A democratically elected leader has no need for fraud. I have faith the people in Hayek will choose the right decision.
All right, how about you, Terminus?
What we should be focusing on is Stone Soul Jr.'s wanting of purges, saying that there are people in the city that cannot be trusted. To me, that does sound like something Kim
Sir, could
Jong-un
you answer the
probably
question?
would eat.
Answer the question.
I'm sorry. That is not what we should be focused on in these current debates.
Answer
I'm
the
sorry.
question.
I'm sorry. Joe, you didn't answer the question. You yet again used that North Korean straw man you invent, and I also never advocated for a purge. I simply said that there could be those within Hayek.
I see. So you call me unconstitutional for saying that trespassers must be murdered if they refuse to cooperate, but you say that I'm dumb for when you say you want purges, you say it low key. You don't say, "Oh, I want purge." You say there are people that shouldn't be here.
Well, by using your same argument earlier of people you don't trust that you should kill them, I mean,
Does Stone say the same thing? Yes.
Terminus, would
And
you please
yet,
answer the question?
Could you repeat the question?
Are you in favor of the new voting system we've recently instituted?
Yes.
Okay. This question goes to Stone. Actually, I guess this question goes to both of you. Neither of you are a member of the Church of Sandwichness. How do you think that someone who is not of the religion can rule over the Holy Land?
I am actually a member of the religion. I had an extensive conversation with head priest Father Hammond Swiss, and in that conversation, I came to be a part of the Holy Church of Hayek, and so I feel that this information is misinformation. Things have changed.
My apologies, I was not aware of that. How about you, Terminus, Rob?
Could you repeat the question one more time, please? I'm sorry, my father came into my room and was talking to me.
You are not a member of the Church of Sandwichness. How do you think that someone who's not of the official religion can rule over the Holy Land and the people of the Church?
I will abstain from answering these questions.
I don't believe that's not.
Sir, you can't abstain from answering questions in a debate. That's the entire premise of a debate.
I do not have a position on the matter. Honestly,
Well,
we should be talking about the purges that he wants to implement.
These
Not
purges, these purges are castles in the air. They exist only in your mind.
wrong.
as Prime Minister, you would have to answer these questions, if not from me, then from the people of Hayek. You're aware of this, correct?
The position of not being in a church is abstaining from that church. As such, I would be abstaining from religious duties and denoting that to other individuals that are of the faith.
All right then. We are nearing the end of the debate. I will now allow you to have a closing statement.
Very well. As a closing statement, I would like to address the validity of the candidacy of my two opponents. Evasive Object is inactive, highly inactive. He was even inactive throughout the latter part of this debate. If he can't even stay for the duties of being elected to the office, how can we expect him to properly perform the duties of the office? And then to move to my opponent, Joe. Anyone who's been listening to this debate sees that the words of Joe are the words of an infantile mind attempting to grasp at power out of pure hate and fear. And I don't believe that the people of Hayek are a people of hate and fear. We're a glorious people of success and of wealth. And quite frankly, a mindset like Joe's will not bring that to us. Thank you.
All right. Now, how about you, Terminus, Rob?
I would like to say, starting off with, that every single thing that Stone has said has been complete lie, 100% lie, coming out of their mouth. He should be in prison, Pearl. Okay. But in conclusion, please vote for me in the upcoming election, because a vote for me is a vote for releasing the unimaginable existential horrors hovering behind our very consciousness, but outside of mankind's comprehension. Furthermore, I believe that Persia must be destroyed.
All right then. That concludes the debate. Thank
I'm
you all
sorry.
for.
I'm
Oh.
sorry, was that real?
I'm afraid so. That concludes the debate. Thank you all for joining us today. Glory to Hayek.
Glory to
Go
Hayek.
ahead.
Glory to Hayek.
Glory to Hayek.